And we're here. It's another week. Chris Sees the Internet is back on your tubes. Welcome to the show.
What kind of tubes?
My boy Mike Mackey is in the house. How you feeling, Mike?
Feeling nice. Feeling groovy.
Producer Hip Hop Eddie is here.
Yes, I am.
How do you feel, man?
I feel good, man. I definitely feel good. Does that sound like I feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are so talkative on a talk show.
Yeah, definitely, man. It is. It's the beats. The beats that you had on were very groovy.
Yeah.
And then, with the little smoke, it was just kind of like, whoa, I'm riding that wave, and then I got to get off and let's do
What
the
was
show.
the first time you got high, Eddie? In life, I mean.
In life?
Yeah, ever.
With
1964?
how far, like marijuana? You're talking about marijuana, man?
Yeah, anything. Let's start.
Okay,
with
I would say
marijuana.
as far as marijuana, when I came here to San Diego in 1995, when I met my fellow San Diego State friends, when I first tried weed with everybody, with you guys, man.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I had seen it. Growing up in Los Angeles, I had seen it, but I just never was around anybody that was smoking it. To be honest, I ran into a plant once, but my mom's friend, and I grabbed the leaves and I tried to roll it, but now I know that you can't roll something that's still green. So there was no smoke there. But anyways, yeah. So then that was my first. I mean, I remember smoking and thinking I was walking on the ceiling and laying on the floor, man. I mean, those were some really trips that.
On your first time?
No, not my first time, man.
Well,
I'm trying to think about that first time, and I think I was just laughing. There was a lot of laughter involved. Uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint, to be honest, what day or when, with who or exactly, but I know there was just a bunch of laughter and couldn't control anything. It was just like a silly moment. It was very silly.
Yeah, yeah.
And
when was the first time you had a bad trip?
You
know what I mean? Like where you were like,
it wasn't
it
wasn't with the smoking the marijuana. It was with the edible.
With weed in general was edible.
It was an edible. Yeah, that was.
So you've never had a bad trip smoking?
No. Driving. Don't nothing. I mean,
what?
I mean, just no. The only time was when I've had an edible. Smoking, I guess, tripping, not really, to be honest. I mean, no, I mean, the only thing I think of is if I've gotten maybe. No, I can't even relate it like a frustration or something like that. But
I remember what I remember. You got high. Remember the time I had to go get you because you were tripping out with your parents?
Yes, but that was the edible.
Oh, that was an edible.
Yeah, that was an edible where I thought I was like. It was just horrible. I was like, man.
Like a prerequisite nowadays.
Yeah, it was like, oh my goodness, man. It was very scary.
Was that the first time you tripped out, though?
Yes.
That was the first time?
Yeah.
So well into your adulthood.
Yes, because the other trip was not even, it was like on pills, man.
So did you ever have a bad weed trip in college?
No, not that I can think of. Nothing that will stick out that sticks out in my mind right now. Where I'm like, oh yeah, it was very like silly giggleness, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that,
yeah, I don't think I had one.
A little paranoia when I was in a car and somebody was driving me somewhere.
What about you, Mike? When was the first time you smoked weed?
It was either I believe it was 17, maybe 18.
What was the? Take us through the story.
To preface the story, right? So I was, as a youth, I was very naive, right? I had that naivete, whatever it's called. I remember having somebody show me some weed one time, and I was in junior high, and I had no idea it was weed. Okay, that's how much I just didn't recognize what things were, and I didn't know slang.
What did you think it was?
I don't remember. I just remember it was I thought it was drugs, right? It's kind of like a generalized.
You were like, for sure it's bad.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I bought into the whole dare kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Well, up until I was 17, 18. So I was running with some ruffians, as they like to say, some ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
And, a friend of mine started becoming a big-time stoner, right? And so, like, he was always, like, offering me some, and I just didn't smoke. I was such a square, right? And I was like, yeah, let me do it one time. So, like, we decided to do it and then go walk to the store. So that was my first mistake right there, because, like, there I am the first time I'm smoking weed, and now I have to, like, do some physical activity to get to the store, like cross the street and pay attention, and needless to say, I was very unsuccessful in making it to the store. So I just attached myself to a chain link fence.
So you knew you were high though?
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely was, like, I could tell I was
something was off. Were you scared?
I wasn't necessarily scared, but, like, I definitely was unfamiliar with I didn't have my equilibrium. It was really hard to walk. It was really hard to concentrate.
But no fear.
No, nothing like terror-wise. Like, that would maybe go with other things, like psychotropics or
Wait,
something.
so you've never had, like a bad trip on weed?
No, not that I could recall.
So are you one of those people who feels like there is no limit to your high? Like, you could probably just keep going?
I mean, I've had some bad, like, like, maybe you get nauseous, or, you get the spins, especially when you, like, you mix, alcohol and weed, right?
Right.
Or, you smoke before you drink, kind of stuff. And, I mean, other than that, like, I haven't really had a trip where, I've had some bad weed where, like,
we all have.
You get a headache, and you're coughing for the next 2 weeks. But nothing to make my mental state kind of.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I've had.
How about you, man? How about you?
Yeah,
I've had them all. I've had them all. Yeah. I've with weed for sure. I've had some bad trips. Gene Flow in the chat room says anxiety attacks on weed for sure. Yeah. I think you guys don't really suffer from, like, severe anxiety like I do, but that's like a common one. Weed is, depending on the strain.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm really taking care of myself, that means I'm buying weed that I know doesn't trigger it. There's a few strains that I know if I take some more effort to just get those strains, I'm usually pretty good.
Yeah.
But for the most part, usually my smoking goes like this. Like, I'll light something up. I'll feel amazing. Usually I'll smoke in the morning. I'll feel amazing. And by midday, if I just smoke all day, by somewhere around midday, I'll start to have a little bit of a body high. And that can trigger my anxiety. Because my anxiety is based around, like, an irrational fear of, like, a heart attack or passing out. It's those two things. It's always been those two things. I have, like, no heart problems though, and I've never passed out like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, those are, like, my triggers, and I can talk to you right now about them and know that they're not real, and know that it is just figment of my imagination, but the feeling is still attached somehow. Yeah. So, like, I've gotten so much better. Like, today I went shopping, right? I went to Walmart, and I was just shopping. One of my favorite things to do is smoke and go shopping.
Oh, I like that too.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But occasionally, and I don't know what it is about Walmart. I think it's just the brightness, kind of,
Yeah.
And then plus the fact that one of the reasons I smoke weed is to kind of slow my mind a little bit. I have a tendency to be all over the place. And so when I'm in Walmart, I think subconsciously I'm just reading everything and picking everything up, so it's overload. And occasionally I could go south in Walmart, and it has gone south. Like, where I literally had to just be like,
relate to
that. Like, I'm pushing my basket, and I literally just be like, well, not going to buy this shit, and then just fucking leave. Because I have to get out. Like, I have to get out of there. That's happened many times. However, within recent times, I've kind of gotten it under control more. And now I'll do this thing where, because what it is for me is, again, I've thought it all out. I know exactly what it is. logically, this is what's happening. In my mind, I feel like my equilibrium is off. Because when you're high, your equilibrium is off.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing. But in my mind, I've reprogrammed that to mean, oh, you might pass out.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly having that conversation in my head when I'm high you're not going to pass out. It's part of high. And so now I've really kind of like tried to let the feeling like kind of wash over me like a wave, kind of like I feel it build up, and I'm like, oh, here it comes, and then I'm like, it's almost like exposure therapy, I guess. It's just a part of like kind of exposure therapy. I try to push myself to the point of like, all right, well, let's fucking pass out then.
Yeah,
like fuck it. Like at this point, like fuck it. I've been way too afraid of it for so long that I'm just like, fuck it. I've already gone through all the scenarios. Like, what's the worst that fucking could happen? Like,
smoke till you drop.
Whatever. And the only times I have passed out in my life, and anybody who has passed out, like is blacked out, not like drunk blacked out. I've done that plenty of times, but.
Loss of consciousness.
Yeah, just a loss of consciousness. Yeah. It's momentary and it's fast, and when you come back, you feel amazing.
Yeah,
because it's like
all your endorphins and stuff are
right. So, and I know all these things. So my whole thing is like, just don't hit your head. Like if you feel like, cover your head, and then you're good.
Yeah.
And by the way, that never ever happens.
Yeah.
I usually push to that point, and then it's like the wave just recedes.
Yeah.
Or the tide recedes, and then it just goes back out, and it's a series of that. And like today was major victory because I walked through Walmart, I felt the anxiety coming, and I was just like, fuck it. And by the time I was like paying for my shit, I just didn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like I said, I could literally be in one of those situations where I'm out.
Yeah. It's
like I've left fucking a whole bag of a whole cart of groceries at Walmart before.
Like when you said you go shopping, you like doing that.
Yeah.
See, like I'm kind of the opposite. Like I like going because I have that anxiety too, right? Like social anxiety. So like,
yours is really based around like other people, right?
Right. Yeah. Just I'm constantly overthinking everything and already assuming what these people, just constantly thinking. I'm rapidly thinking. So like, one, I don't like to smoke sativas for that reason, right? But like if I go to the store and stuff like that,
because the thought behind sativa is that there's a little more of an upper.
Oh yeah, right. For me, like
that's what I look for.
Yeah, he likes that.
I like the therapeutic aspect of indicas more. I'd say predominantly I smoked indicas for maybe more than 10 years. I just recently started kind of branching out again and smoking because I was starting to smoke socially.
What are you smoking today?
I believe it's a hybrid. Yeah, it's a sativa hybrid.
From what I've
those
learned,
are more indica.
Most hybrids are like they lean indica in San Diego for some reason.
Yeah. But it's very interesting because like when I go to the store, like I become like an impulse buyer, right? So like I just don't have that impulse, that control where I'll be sent. Yeah, like I'll be sent to the store to go buy 5 things, and I'll end up coming home with like 20 things, right?
Yeah,
and things I don't need, right? Like, and that's another thing. I'll stand in like the snack aisle and I'll just be stoned and be like salivating.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You, like
you're constantly food wise. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were like
at the weed store.
No, just like a buyer. Like you had to buy shit to make yourself feel better. Like
no, not like that's retail therapy.
Weed brings that out of you.
No, I just
yes, it does.
I just get so anxious.
No rider.
Yeah, dude. I start
this shit in my car right now.
But buying food makes you feel less anxious. Of course.
No. I'm saying I get that anxiety. So like if I have to do something like where I really need to just focus and get like 5 things, I'll try not to smoke beforehand, before I go.
Okay, if you got to just go in.
Yeah, exactly. If I found that occasion where I have to go to the store and I'm stoned, like I make those mistakes, right? I'll end up buying 3 bags of shit, right? I thought this sounded good, and I just I start doing that a lot.
Yeah, I'm only like experimenting right now, like where I'm at with weed. Like one, I feel like I have a new lease on weed. Like I feel like it's taken most of my life to figure out how to actually use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like so. Yeah, and now to me, it's completely a tool. It's part of my everyday.
Because what strains you need. What's beneficial to you.
I know how to smoke. I know when to smoke.
Yeah,
I know
exactly,
when I'm good.
Exactly.
And it to me, it's also very like from a creative standpoint. some people feel like it's taboo because they're like, oh, you have to use something to. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. I sometimes because you know why? Sometimes I use a sunset, and sometimes I use like the ocean, and sometimes I use weed.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like whatever the fuck it is, I like to try to constantly find that opening between my brain and inspiration, and weed helps in that situation for sure. And when I record, I can go really deep. Like I'll go deep into my mind to try to get what's in there to come out, and weed can help me do that.
Yeah,
and I like it.
Yeah. What about the ones that say like, well, then it's an addiction?
I mean, I very well may be addicted, but I'm also addicted to my phone. I mean, I think everybody. I'm not one of those people who thinks that people can be addiction free. I think everybody does have an addiction.
Sure, it's habitual. Like it doesn't have necessarily any addictive properties per se.
Right.
But like as you say, if you put it in that context, in essence, everything can.
Well, like I used to smoke cigarettes a lot. And in college, I smoked. I smoked all the time, and in a studio session, I could smoke an entire pack.
Oh my goodness!
Right, like just fucking chain smoking. And there has been a lot of science behind this. Actually, like tobacco has a lot to do. That's why writers smoke.
Yeah, it's a stimulant.
Yeah, it's a stimulant, and people feel creative on it. I wasn't smoking it for that reason. By no means, I was addicted to it. And when I quit that, and I only smoke weed, I can tell you as just a weed smoker, the act of actually inhaling smoke and sending it out is a very addictive thing. So I wasn't necessarily addicted to the nicotine. I don't have like that much of an addictive personality. I've never had that. Yeah. I could drink and then just stop cold. I stopped everything cold turkey at certain points. And now all I do is smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I haven't done anything in over like maybe 5 years now. 5 or 6 years.
It's been longer, but yeah.
Yeah. And so, but now with weed, like it's like I said, it's just a tool. It's something that I think that I've learned how to use better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it definitely takes some configuration. Like, because a lot of people are like, even myself included, I can relate to like being when I was a daily smoker, right? I was in my 20s and stuff. I was a daily smoker, and you smoke whenever, you have to go out or, to go to school, or I had to go, this, or I had to go, right? Yep. Smoke and smoke and smoke. And you find like there are the circumstances where, like it's beneficial to be straight, a little sober, right?
Sure.
Or like, smoke earlier so that you're kind of coming down and you can still really find those effects.
That's my favorite time, by the way. Like for shows, I don't know how you do. Well, now I've seen you smoke before shows. Like you'll smoke, you'll perform super high.
Oh yeah.
Where like I can't really do that. Like but my favorite place to be is like smoking. Like say I'll smoke a blunt or smoke a joint an hour before my set. And not smoke again until after my set. Yeah. So, like, going into my set, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just enough that the anxiety's cool, my walls are down, I feel open, you know what I mean? The body high isn't there. Because honestly, dude, for me, if I could totally eliminate the body high, I think I'd be fine.
Oh, you don't like the body high at all?
I don't like the body high.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm very aware of how my body feels at all times. Like, I'm even aware when my blood pressure drops even slightly. I'm super sensitive to that.
You might like this strain, man. This is kind of like one of those where it's just all heady. Like I don't feel any body, sensations at all. Usually with this one, and I'm somebody who likes the I like the body kind of the mix. So like it's not that it's unenjoyable because I do like I'll have I won't turn down a sativa, but like it's just my preference. You know what I mean? Cause,
I think there's one.
It's definitely mellow.
And by no means, please do not do what I do. I'm not telling anybody to do what I do. This is kind of what has worked for me. But I'm on Lexapro. So I take the most I've ever taken was like 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams. And now I take like a half, which is like 5.
That's anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah, it's anti-anxiety. And what else?
Lexapro.
Yeah, I'll look it up. But it's anti-anxiety medicine. And I've been able to, like, there's things that there are side effects to it. There's like these things called the zaps. Let me see if I can look them up.
Where are you getting those zaps at?
Zaps?
Yeah.
They feel like they're
like tingling sensations in your extremities, or in your head?
Is it almost like electricity zaps kind of feeling?
Oh
Some
yeah, like your brain
neurological-
zaps. No, it feels like it's on your brain.
Interesting.
And what is that from again? From the
So-
medication?
Yeah, Lexapro
Oh.
causes these things. It's a stimulus because what it is it's controlling my serotonin levels, right? Like, so my serotonin levels, because it's antidepressant as well.
Yeah.
So if my serotonin levels drop, it's designed to bring them up. But
Yeah.
one of the things that can do, that can happen if you do that, in an artificial way, which Lexapro is it feels like I have to be careful about like never getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like I can't get dehydrated because I'll get brain zaps.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Sometimes
interesting.
I felt them like in the morning, like if I didn't drink enough water or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, it's a great way to describe it. It feels like zzz,
Yeah.
zzz, and like little electrical shocks on your brain.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can last like an hour. Sometimes they can last like a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's neuropathy. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
definitely it's doing something to your neurologic system. So
Right. So,
like,
so that being said,
yeah.
But it is
when I smoke weed, there's normal things. Like you guys always notice my right leg shakes a lot.
Sure.
It's like kind of uncontrollable. So that'll shake a lot, and then like I'll get like a little bit of tightness, like right around the chest. Like I have it right at this moment right now, but like I said, I've done a lot of work on that shit, because that shit is the shit that like I feel like almost killed me. Like that was
The Lexapro.
No, not the effects of all of that. All the
Oh, okay.
combination of not being able to manage my anxiety and
Yeah, yeah, I
depression.
got you.
Oh.
That's what almost killed me, because you start to measure out, like, do I really want to live like that? Like that would suck to have brain zaps all the time, to feel depressed, to feel like all these things, right? So
Exactly.
I've had to kind of like attack each one of those things.
Were you getting the zaps before the medication?
No. It's completely from the medication. Yeah.
Can people get zaps? Do you know if they can get zaps without medication?
I don't know. I'm assuming, right? It's got something has to trigger it more than just Lexapro. Like I know there's a lot of different things that can trigger. You shouldn't have them. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? Like if you are taking something or doing something and you feel that thing, stop doing that. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I've heard that there's certain kind of some of those right psychoentropic, right?
Yeah.
Those medications have similar side effects like that, where twitches and
Yeah.
yeah,
I have
It's
like
like
a twitch on like my right side. It'll be like kind of in my shoulder area, but it's very small. Like you can't really tell. But like people who hang out with me like a lot start to notice these things after a while, But yeah, that was, it used to be scary. Now it can be challenging, but it's not scary anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, that's
interesting.
I would say the thing that triggered the whole thing, right? Again, don't do what I'm doing. Because like I've already measured out for myself, because people could just say, well, then just don't smoke weed at all.
Yeah.
Right? But weed allows me to like go to normal places and do normal things. Right? Like that's what it does for me. Like
the pharmaceuticals aren't necessarily doing that.
No, that's not. Yeah. Like I can if I was just on Lexapro, I could probably like be at home and not have any anxiety or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I would do like socially, because I'm already an introvert.
Do you notice an effect in combination when you're ingesting cannabis?
With Lexapro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, does it really take, like, you have no paranoia? Maybe
No. In fact, that, again, depending on the strain, it could be negative or positive.
I see.
Sometimes it could be negative, like if it's too heavy of a strain, and like I said, it's just really body highs. But again, I'm saying that's the Lexapro, right? but it is and it isn't. You know what I mean? A lot of it is the way my brain is deciphering these things, right? So what I'm trying to train my brain to do is just know that that's not. I take Lexapro. These things can happen when you smoke weed. That is all that is happening. Though.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's no physical long-term effects.
Right. Oh.
Right. There's nothing that can happen. I can't really have a heart attack. Like you don't. Nobody's had a heart attack on weed ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It just never happened. It's not possible. So most of the things are just in my head. So I've decided just to take on the challenge as opposed to just be like, I don't want to smoke weed anymore because the positives of weed have been overwhelming for me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's no way I would take it back. No way.
And I definitely think that's what helps with the part of making that decision is the weed, to try to.
I feel weed for me is a way to tap into my most honest self. That's a great way for me to do it. Every morning I have a conversation with the most honest part of my brain, and I'm able to check myself when I know I'm not doing whatever I should be doing. I'm not on my path. And I've realized with smoking weed, I've been able to put those things into practice, and I have gradually gotten better at them. I've literally gotten better. Now every morning, if it's sunny and I go outside and I smoke weed and I sit in the sun, I will absolutely figure out a shitload of my
beautiful
problems.
Days, man. Yeah.
A shitload of them, dude. It's without a doubt now. I look forward to that. If I look out the window and I see that it's blue, I'm like, oh shit. When we pack a bowl, I'm going to go outside because I either want to write a song or I need to figure out this problem or I'm trying to amend something with a friend and I need to find an opening. Every time without fail it happens. And then I fucking thank whoever and I'm like, peace, get on with my day. I would never give that up. For what? Because I scared myself? Nah, fuck that. I'll figure out how not to scare myself first.
And one of the big parts of what you said is the thanking, man. That is a very powerful thing. Because there is an out there power of whatever you want to call it. That is your guide or your guardian angel or whatever you want to call it. That it is guiding you in and helping you through this process.
Are you, Mike, are you religious?
I'm not not devout, I would say I would. I'm more.
You're saying you're not devout?
Yeah, I'm not devout. I would say I'm not sure if the term is agnostic, but I don't really subscribe to any religion per se.
Based on the idea that you just don't know.
Yeah.
That you yourself don't know, so you rather not say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
More so like that, because I can understand.
Has it always been like that in your life?
Yeah, I never. I'm not some ex, Catholic or something
No, so you never
went to... Nah, I never went to seminary school or Sunday school. Yeah, Sunday
growing
school.
Growing up, no church stuff.
That's where you go to become a priest and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
I did go to Catholic school, by the way.
Yeah, me too, man.
My family was a Roman Catholic, I believe. My grandparents were devout Christians, or Catholics.
Oh, okay.
So. But it was never we didn't go to church.
I like the way you said Roman
stuff.
Catholic, as opposed to Swedish Catholic.
I thought it was all just regular Catholic.
I'm pretty strong Key Catholic, I'll tell you that. So you never had the joys of a religious family.
No.
Oh my God, thankfully. Mike, you missed out, man.
All right, man. Let's get a prayer going on real quick.
Y'all want to do a prayer real quick?
Yeah. Well, when our guest gets on, we're gonna do a prayer with you.
Oh yeah, is he?
745 is the.
745. Okay,
yes,
yeah, we got a guest coming on. A good friend of mine, one of the founders, the founder, along with myself, of Crappy Awesome Podcast, and he played a pivotal role in the creation of PlatformCollection, Mr. Arash. For people who know, they know. If you don't know, you'll get to know him. He's also the host of the one and only Burner podcast for the Burning Man community.
Nice.
Is it on? I don't
know.
Sorry, man. Sorry for jumping in there, man. I was just trying to.
What was it off? Or?
I kind of just didn't hear you clearly on my headphones.
Oh no! I'm registering on there.
Yeah, my bad.
the Burning Man community, and so yeah, he's we invited him on to shoot from the hip. He's a very funny guy as well. So should I? Yeah, I should set that up already, Eddie.
Yeah, he should be dialing in
It's like
around
in 1 minute,
7:45.
right? Oh
Yeah.
shit, I'm not even on.
Oh man.
Man, Burning Man, dude. I've been wanting to go to that for a long time. Like, that's super dope.
Oh, he's an absolute expert. If you have
Everybody,
questions about Burning Man,
every one of my
he's the
friends
guy.
who've gone come back and they're changed. You know, they have these epiphanies, and it's this huge. You know, you gotta go. And just I've always been peer pressured into it. I just never gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is the guy to talk
heard
to
all
about
the-
that, man. I mean, he's definitely invited us
I
many
want
times.
some, you know.
Yeah, he's invited us. I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah,
I'm down to do it, man.
I for
and
sure
shoot
have
something.
I
Let's
could
shoot
have
something.
gone free a few times
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
because it can be expensive.
Yeah. Well, that was always that was always to my
Yeah, I've always turned him down. Dude, there's something about I don't, and actually we've talked about, we could talk to him about it a little bit, but I get the like philosophy behind the desert,
Yeah.
but I feel like now what Burning Man is like, couldn't we just do that at the beach or like a nice place? You know what I mean? Like, that's the only drawback to me. But I get for people who may not have pushed themselves to like a physical, challenging way, right, in their lives ever. Burning Man is a dope thing. Like, you're gonna go, especially if you've never done anything like that. But I have done stuff like that, and it's not like that fun, and so I don't like that part. But I don't know. That seems just like a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Just dude, Mike. Over these last few years, I have completely lost that like the feeling of wanting to be around a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even when we do shows, I love doing the show, and then kind of like I don't mind being out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, I would want to stay till the show ended. Like now I can do a set and pretty much go home. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is. You're the opposite though, huh? You like the
nightlife?
social.
Nah, I mean, really, I'm a homebody, so I would love to.
You're always out.
Yeah, you are more. I remember you asking me, so how do you do it? I'm like, how do you do it going out like all the time? And you have 4 kids. Man.
Yeah, man.
I got
like getting
2,
up
and
early,
it's a difficult thing for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like getting up early.
I mean, I get up around 6:30, man.
Like go to bed late.
Okay, I had to email it to him just to.
No, but Burning Man, I would love to. That would be sweet to.
Yeah, he's a big coordinator there. He does a lot of.
Don't fuck around though, Mike. He's like literally, if you're like, yo, I want to go to Burning Man, he will get you to Burning Man.
Because I'm assuming Burning Man's gonna be exempt from all this COVID regulations, right? Because aren't they on indigenous land?
I don't think they're gonna be able to have a Burning. We're gonna talk to him.
No,
about
I'd be
interested to see how they do it.
That direct question.
Yeah, I
might just do that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I could see.
Yeah, because they Coachella bit the dust off.
They shouldn't do it. Though.
I heard Wasteland was not gonna do it either, and a lot of the larger festivals have kind of followed suit. So I was wondering what Burning Man's gonna do, because it's such a tradition too. Like I know there's these dudes who.
I wonder if there's been a
going
year,
since the
like
first.
has it gone consistently?
Yeah,
we'll find out all those things.
I heard that's the thing. It's kind of like back when I used to work for Scream Zone. You try to go every year. It was a camaraderie.
Anything in there?
Not yet. We're waiting on him. But yeah, I don't know.
What's the man? Because
maybe like later in my life. Like I'd like to go to Burning Man when I'm head full of white hair.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I've been to Lightning in a Bottle. That one.
Is that like the same?
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be the California version of Burning Man. Because the other one's on Nevada, right? It's in Black Rock City or something. Yeah, it's a California version. And believe me, there's a lot of debauchery. And it was in the woods, though. It was in the Santa Barbara Mountains. But it was drugs, debauchery, and camping. It was just really just a lot of...
bring up some Burning Man stuff. On
camping, that's, it's really
on the intranet.
Hey, do you have did you change the password?
No, man, it was the last one that was in our chat.
But, I mean, Psychedelic City, man, that's kind of what it was. The lights, lights, and just visually, there was a lot of eye candy.
Yeah.
I mean, almost,
that's what it is. It's
almost overindulgence of eye candy. It was just
attack on the senses.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was almost like sensory overload. Like, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't get to take any really, really psychedelics when I was there. I was dumb and I forgot my ID. So it was also sponsored by Fat Tire, the beer company. So they were giving out free beer. Not to mention they were giving out free beer.
Oh.
I didn't even get a beer that whole weekend, and I was a correspondent.
Yeah. I mean, from what I know about Burning Man is there is more of a culture based around it.
Oh yeah,
as far as like
burners,
and they take things a little more serious.
Yeah, like I said, when all my friends who've gone, they all come back, and then it's this new brotherhood and this camaraderie.
No, the one in there is not it, man. It's sending them to the Yazzie one.
Okay, I will send him something over.
The art was really sick too, man. That's what I remember the most about all the art installations. And then to see that shit at night was just like, it's like a mind blowing. I can only imagine. Like doing that, especially with like psychedelics, man. Because like now in retrospect, I'm like, damn, that was.
They got it all over there, man.
Yeah, it was one of those things, man.
Yeah, he goes.
Because it wasn't like I didn't enjoy myself, right? But it was definitely like one of those situations where you're just like, right, especially with the alcohol, like. I was hoping to get all my beer secondhand from like some hippie or some like somebody who like, and it was just free beer and free drugs.
That's free. Wow, that was a lot.
Everything. Oh yeah, I got offered everything under the sun.
What kind of drugs?
Yeah, I imagine a lot of MDMA and ecstasy, especially like I said at night. It became this, like hedonism. Like just people are openly.
Doing naughty things?
Yeah, just people are openly fornicating, I guess,
fornicating.
Catipulating.
It's a lot of fornicating happening around.
I don't agree with that one bit. No, sir, I don't.
What other type of like drugs have you consumed, man?
I'm smart, man. I only do things that are organic, man, that grow on the ground.
What about acid?
No, I've never done acid. I've only done mushrooms and weed.
Rosh is
I did salvia one time.
He is a certified psychonaut.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's done it all. I mean, but like seriously, like he's talked to the scientist about it.
That'd be cool, dude.
He's gone on some journeys.
Yeah, I said I'm interested in doing DMT because I've had my journeys and I've just stepped foot in the realm. I can imagine.
Yeah, we're waiting for DMT on you, man.
Yeah, Arash is the one that actually was that linked us to DMT.
The guy who's coming on is the guy who like first introduced DMT to us.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah. In fact, he was like, we can't say that.
Did he email you? Did you email him?
Allegedly.
Yeah, I sent him a message on Instagram.
Oh.
So just have him log in through that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't email him while I'm on. Yeah, guys,
thank you, man. Thank you.
PlatformCollection.com, by the way. If you guys first time tuning in, this is Chris Sees the Internet. We're going to be doing some news in a little bit, going through what's trending on Twitter. Mr. Trump is still not giving up.
He is a fighting man.
He has not given up the fight yet. We're hoping that that works itself out,
But is there... Okay, I mean... I know there might be loopholes out there, but is there
I got him.
There he is. There he is.
Arash is here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wow.
Let me bring him in there.
Bring him in, man. All the way in.
Yo. What's up?
Hold on,
man. They can't see you yet. They can't see you yet. So.
Yes. No, it's on this one. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got him.
I got him. Got him in. Got him on.
Here he comes.
What?
All over.
Hold on. I'm almost.
Coming all over it. There he is.
What a.
Bam! He's on.
There he is, and he.
What's up, gentlemen?
What up, man?
What's up,
we were just talking about you, talking about Burning Man. Mike, this is Mike Mackey. This is the first time you've met him.
Hey, what's up, man?
Mike Mackey.
How are you doing, sir?
Following in the steps of great co-hosts before him.
You got big, giant, size 15 shoes to fill.
That's right.
He does. They are size 15.
Size 15. ladies. So we were talking about Burning Man.
Got that shack energy.
Does my voice sound as silky smooth as Eddie's does on the mic right now?
I don't know. Let me hear yours, Eddie.
I mean, and
it does sound nice. Yeah, you know what? He's using your old mic though. That's what it is.
Yeah, that would explain it.
It's that
I left my smooth right on it.
The Aquabats.
I explained, founder of Crappy Awesome, founding member of Platform Collection,
nice.
So on and so on.
Yeah.
But when I brought up the Burning Man thing, that's what set the room on fire. There, people
quite
are
literally.
Like, yeah, because Mike wants to know like what it's all about. He says he has some idea, but I told him. There's some things that are way more serious than you think, and then there's some things that are way less serious than you thought. And for what I knew when I first got introduced to it through you, was nothing but the debauchery side. And then after after you going through it and you settling into that community and sharing that with us, I obviously know it's so much more. It's like any other community. There's people who participate on the outskirts. There's people who are like the core. But how would you describe it? Like, what would you say it is?
It's definitely quite impossible to capture it all, in one sense or one word. But it is a much more spiritual experience than people realize before they go, because a lot of times it is like the music and the debauchery that attracts you, and a lot of what we talk about on Burner Podcast is a lot of times that's the carrot on the stick that gets you out into the desert. But then once you get out there, skull gets cracked open and you re-experience what you perceived to be reality. Even after you come back, you're never quite the same. It's very rare that I'll talk to somebody who describes like having just gone once and going like, yeah, it was cool and that was done. Like I know those people are out there, but I barely meet them. For the most part, people describe how dramatically and wildly it changed who they were. And there's a lot of factors that goes into that because, I mean, like the physical environment completely strips you naked. And, then you get out there and there's a lot of like, restructuring what identity is, what the definition of art is.
Oh my
gosh. It's literally the fastest way I like to describe it to people is I say it's an airport of consciousness.
Yeah.
Oh.
Airport.
Can it be too heavy at times?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the airport of consciousness example though that I give people is that there are people who like just work at the airport. They don't travel a lot, and then there's people that are traveling in and out a lot. There's people that are, maybe just going out for their first flight, but I feel like airport is a good sort of like way to capture what the energy feels like.
It's like a microcosm. I guess.
Absolutely,
experiences and perspectives and.
Yeah, and it is, Burning Man is sort of like the branded name of it, but inside the actual thing, there's Black Rock City. It's a temporary city. That goes up, and for that 1 week that it's up, it's the last I looked, it was like the seventh most populated city in the state of Nevada.
Jeez.
For 1 week. And then so you set up your camp there, and you're living there for the week.
How much money do you need to go to like if you were like wanted like Mike's never been, he wants to go really bad. How much money do you need?
If I had to pull a number out of my ass for like your first time, you're probably looking at like $3,000-ish, I would say, on the low end.
Yeah.
If you're like, let's say if you have a way of getting a hold of a tent and you can get all your things together without having to purchase everything brand new, without it needing to be the most expensive thing you ever bought, like, get resourceful. The ticket is like $800-ish bucks. There's a lot of those factors to explore. And what you asked earlier about like, does it ever get heavy or serious? Like, yeah, it's one of the interesting bets to place for first time burner is like when they're going to break down and cry. Yeah, it's so funny. I remember my first year, I was like, I was talking to one of the people who was guiding me through the process, who had been multiple years, and I was saying like, yeah, I'm guessing probably like around Wednesday I'll totally break down and cry, and she just starts laughing her ass off. It's like, oh no, honey, try Monday.
Wow.
Like the day, like 48 hours after I got there, I just completely broke down.
So who is it, dude? Who is it? Who do you feel it's calling to? You know what I mean? Like who are the people that you've seen out there where you're like
maybe the spiritually despondent?
Yeah, are there people that are like searching like spiritual awakening? Is there people that I know there's a lot of diverse groups, right? I get that. But like for the most part, does it feel like at least these are a lot of out of the box thinkers? Or does it seem like, you know, is it trendy? Is it, you know, because you what was the name you said they would call people who were too trendy out there? I don't know if it was trendy.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's like the fashion burners.
Yeah, the fashion burners.
Yeah, and then you got your sparkle.
No, pony. No.
Yeah, sparkle pony.
Sparkle pony. Right.
Yeah. So the sparkle ponies are the kind of like, you're not contributing a whole lot. You're not really working. You're not doing much. You're just really, really pretty.
Right.
Oh, like influencers and stuff like that. They just show up to get Instagram photos.
I think like influencers probably might be like more like the fashion burner crowd. But yeah, definitely Sparkle Pony. A little bit of there. Sparkle Pony.
That's a Sparkle Pony.
Kind of worthless. Like you're not contributing. You're not contributing much.
Right. Because do you think they go there not knowing like part of the experience, like part of the benefit of actually doing this is like connecting to a community, right? They're going there more like it's like Coachella.
There are absolutely those, and then there are absolutely those Sparkle Ponies who go because their whole thing is the whole. They're there only for the they're too used to community taking care of them. That's like a common thing that happens. It'll be like the pretty little hippie who's like. Didn't bring any of her own water. Didn't bring her bread. You know,
there she is, right there. That's her.
Yeah, there she is. Just Instagramming the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, I'm that pretty when I go, man.
I know, man. I almost feel like that's the way to go.
One big thing though is that you can definitely not predict who is going to be the Sparkle Pony, because you'll see people who you look at and go, this person's way too attractive to actually be amazing. And then you talk to them and you find out what they've actually contributed, and they turn out to be pretty amazing, badass people. So,
wow,
interesting.
That's dope.
I think personality-wise, there's definitely out-of-the-box thinkers. As you were asking the question, the immediate answer that was popping into my head is, you folks are familiar with Maslow's pyramid of needs?
Yes.
So, you know, at the bottom is like for listeners or viewers, at the very bottom of the pyramid is like your basic needs. As I need shelter, I need water, I need to feel safe and secure.
Yes.
And then as you move up the pyramid, there you go. You kind of work into like at the very top of the pyramid is like spiritual exploration.
Yes.
Is at the top, and that's when you've had a lot of your needs met, and you're ready to like push out of the boundaries and be not safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think a lot of who is attracted to Burning Man is like the higher parts of the pyramid.
Right. That makes
which
sense.
Is one of the reasons it is pretty white, because there is like, you know, a sense of kind of
we would have to have
the and
disposable income of like $800 to go and everything.
Yeah. The disposal. So I think the disposable income part of it is definitely a factor. I don't think it's as high of a factor as people think it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a conscious.
Yeah, because we've had multiple friends go, and it's not.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's rich.
Yeah.
Far from.
Yeah, no, I borrowed everything. My first ticket was. Have I bought tickets? I'm not sure if I have. I've always been working on some sort of a project.
Yeah, I don't think you have. No.
Yeah. So I mean, I may have spent maybe $1,500 or $2,000 my first burn, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's only because I'm terrible at planning things. So there's a lot of things you can do. I reached out to community and I had a lot of support on my first trek. So it's money is a physical measurement of abundance. You know?
Yeah.
But like you kind of like, I think like an example that you see is folks who get like overnight success, like lottery winners, like basketball players who go bankrupt. You know, like how do you lose that much money? Doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket. If you are still in like poverty mentality consciousness mode, you'll find a way to lose the money.
Right,
So,
right.
I think the people that are attracted to Burning Man are people that are choosing discomfort because they see something beyond that wall of fear, and they're ready to explore what's beyond that wall.
Were you here 2019? This is 2019.
This is yeah. I was here, and then I think you were talking about whether or not it's happening or not. It didn't happen this year. It's probably not going to happen next year as well.
Oh wow! So is that first time? I mean,
ever?
Yeah, ever since it started.
Yes. Yeah. Since it started
well,
sure.
There you go.
For
that
sure.
answers your question. Right?
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was going to be because I believe it isn't it on indigenous land, right? Or the land is
it's
not subject to federal territory laws or something.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's on BLM land.
Okay.
Which BLM used to mean.
Bureau of Land Management.
I was like, damn, that's good. They're having a lot of success.
They didn't tell nobody.
It was. So
how awesome would that be if we found that out? Like they actually own Burning Man.
Yeah. Dude, there's actually. Oh my God, you got to look this up. This is hilarious. There's actually this urban myth that somebody started and just kept it going. That Dr. Dre Dr. Dre owns Burning Man.
What?
Yeah. Look it up. There's like a website for it and everything. It's fucking hilarious. So the story, the myth behind it is that they found proof because it was a letter that Dr. Dre had written to his girlfriend when they were shooting the music video for California Love.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They were there, huh?
Yeah, they were
out there. Yeah. So they're saying in the
that was Burning Man. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah. So in the letter it says, the letter is basically saying there it is. So it's saying in the letter that he was out there and they saw that these hippies out there lifting a man, and then he like got into chopping it up with them, and then the conversation went to like where they need money for like permitting. So he ended up taking up all the permitting fees and is now making a huge profit off of Burning Man.
Wow.
Whoa.
I think the story, though, is his first paragraph where he writes, hopefully you doing well, and you realize you need to quit fucking with Sadell and come home to your doctor. Who the fuck calls... He called him... He tells the girl, I'm your doctor. That's weird. That's weird.
I'm 98% sure it's a prank. But I'm going to give that 2% just in case. Because like,
that would be awesome.
Pranking is a big part of Burning Man culture. It's a lot of mischief. It's a lot of tomfoolery. Anytime you start to take yourself too seriously, somebody will either figure out if this is the moment where you really, really need a hug, or this is the moment where you need to snap the fuck out of it and realize that nothing that important is happening here. So,
look, it said someone should get behind this shit and make some loot off these fools, because they said there would be at least 5,000 people.
Yeah.
I think I will have my office look into it just to see if there's an easy money to be had here. Wow. Dr. Dre, how dare you? First of all, how dare you?
He would already have mentioned something by now, right?
I think that's something you just say you own.
Yeah. I mean, he has those Beats headphones, awesome. Right? I mean...
And the funny thing is, I think the stage for California Love, so if you look up Thunderdome at Burning Man, that's like the longest running
Burners
camp
built it, right?
There.
Like, yeah.
It's still there. They have it every year. They have Thunderdome at Burning Man, and like it looks, because you have all these people that are dressed up in all this shit and covered in the dust, and I mean, it looks like you're in the middle of Mad Max. So,
did they play any like the Dr. Dre music?
Can you really fight to the death?
I have been there when they played it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow,
that's a real question.
That's
absolutely.
Much respect for that.
Much respect, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, call us if you did.
That. Yeah. I mean, you got the number.
You got the number.
I'll shoot him a text.
We got some other questions though for you, because I also described this, and you can correct this if it's wrong. But I mean, you're a psychonaut. You've definitely gone above and beyond in the world of psychedelics to explore, just to explore that world, right? For sure, we can say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So Mike has a bunch of questions about drugs, like acid. He wants to know about acid because he's only done au natural, right?
Yeah, I only done organic.
Or only organic.
Mushroom and weed.
Chia seeds,
I've done,
celery
salvia
lines.
It's salvia.
He's done salvia though, so
Okay.
that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't very enjoyable to be honest with you.
Okay, so go.
I thought you'd die with it.
You were just telling me a story about acid, which we won't share on the air. But you want him just to describe how it is?
Sure. It pertains.
Let me just tell you this. This man has logged his hours.
You mean as it pertains to Burning Man?
No,
because I'm kind of interested in that. I'm interested in that factor. Like, so how do you? Because from what I understand, right, there's a level of law enforcement, right, present, and so like, right, that's like one of my triggers, right, is my anxiety. Is like law enforcement. I don't want to go to jail, right? Man. Yeah, so like especially when I go to concerts or stuff, right? Everybody's kind of doing everything on the low. And so you see these people who are obviously, right, just, completely taking psychedelics and stuff. So, like, where's the...
Is it, like, open, you mean?
Yeah, where's the equilibrium there? Like, is it kind of, like, openly used? Can you just smoke openly? Are you going to be, harassed? Are you open to citations and fines and stuff? And, how does that work exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. Is weed legal in Nevada yet?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. I think it's legal.
What do you mean?
Not anymore.
It's legal, man.
Legal? Oh yeah. No, okay. I think it just legalized.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
That's what this show's
about.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
That was one of the big things that law enforcement would go after because it was like the easiest thing to smell, and then that would be their probable cause to get in and like toss a whole camp.
Because of weed.
And you might have like a whole campsite of like 400 people, and now like they're going through everybody's shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's stuff for sure.
Oh yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It just passed. Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good.
For just marijuana and stuff like that?
Medical marijuana.
So, I mean, this is a funny thing. People often say, like, oh, it's just weed.
Right.
Nah, weed's a nice little excuse for a vulture looking for an excuse to get in your shit, to get into your shit. Like, it's not personal. This guy's not like personally coming after you because he personally believes that drugs are ruining the world.
He might.
He's stacking up. Yeah, he's stacking up numbers. Yeah. And smell some weed, excuse to get into your shit. And you always know this too. Like,
I feel like this would be one of those events, though, that it would. I mean, why not?
They would let you go.
Off? Yeah. Like,
no, they're coming after it.
And that was my question. Like, how do you kind of openly enjoy yourself?
Oh yeah.
And not be looking but not looking over your shoulder the whole time.
For the most part, people are just naturally have their shit together. It tends to attract a more intelligent clientele. People, for the most part, have their wits. Like, it's very rare that I'll see somebody just like falling apart. If anything, people aren't really attracted to that a lot of times at Burning Man. Like, to completely not have any of your wits about you. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, when you do, you can go into like safer spaces, you're inside camps, but then like people are kind of aware that there are undercovers. Like, there are absolutely stories of like some pretty girl that's partying with the crew for like 3 days in pasties, and then it turns out she was an undercover.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah. So they have so Burning Man has a few things in place to cover people in these situations. Like, one, they have like a very robust like law enforcement tracking system. So whatever interaction you have with law enforcement, they encourage you to file it so that they keep track of all of this and make sure to stay on top of like any interaction that's happening.
Yeah. So they can catch like people being assholes if they are.
Right. So anybody working in law enforcement is definitely staying on top of keep making sure they're following protocol correctly and not abusing power because they're being tracked. Two, there's actually a program called Lawyers for Burners. If you get fucked with on your way to and from Burning Man or at Burning Man with law enforcement, you get immediate pro bono to lower cost cover, like legal representation.
Wow.
Or they'll find a way to connect you with the right lawyers and stuff. They'll connect you with burner lawyers who are
smart.
Specifically there dedicating their time to protect Burning Man and attendees. So that's part of it. And then on top of that, like, I think, again, law enforcement is watching for people like fucking up and falling apart, and you don't see a ton of that. For the most part, people have their shit together.
No crack.
When you look at an event this size, I mean, it's 80,000 people, and look at all this madness that's happening there. There should be a lot more deaths.
Right.
Really.
I mean,
but there aren't.
That's real.
people should be.
There should be a lot more of a lot
Injury,
of
like injuries.
No, I mean just across the board, just like bad shit happening.
Like, not even
There's
a Thunderdome. Like,
And there isn't.
kind of
And there isn't somehow.
Thunderdome.
Dude, a couple of years ago, I had like a medical situation, and I had to like go into Burning Man's hospital. They have a hospital called Rampart.
Wow.
And the volunteer who saw me was a neurologist at Walter Reed. He was one of Obama's doctors.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Volunteering at the hospital.
That's so dope.
Wow.
I mean, that's dope. Undercover dope.
Yo, wait, let me ask you this. So, is this true or not? I don't remember if I saw it with you or it was just like something somebody said and it wasn't true. Has somebody run into the fire like at Burning Man? Has that?
Oh
actually
yeah,
happened?
I've seen the video of that.
That's actually happened.
Yeah, I think a couple times,
Yeah,
right?
So
Or just once?
the one you're referencing was probably at the one you're thinking about is the one at the Utah Regional.
Okay.
And because there's regionals all around the world. Like
Yeah.
there's the main Burning Man event, which is 80,000 people, and then you have regionals that range from like 500 to 4,000 people around the world.
Yeah.
This was the Utah Regional, where somebody did run in, and everybody watched this person burn to death. It's not advertised, but it is a common thing that people attempt.
Yeah,
Something
I would
takes
think-
them over, and
Yeah.
something takes them over, and it's not. A lot of people think it's a drug thing. It's not. Like we don't know. I don't know enough about the phenomenon. I do know that it's a thing that happens, and that like one of the layers of something that Burning Man has that like also answers the previous question you had about law enforcement.
Uh-huh.
There are this organization called BlackRock Rangers, and they're a conflict mediation. They're basically like what law enforcement like should be.
Okay.
Like they come in and
They
kind of help you
don't
out,
have-
figure it out
They
together.
don't have deputized powers where they could charge
Yeah.
you.
Well, they're-
possession
they're not
and stuff
taking you
like
down,
that.
like-
okay.
They're looking for ways to solve whatever problem it is you have, to like de-escalate situations, whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
They're the people we reach out to first, and then if shit gets more and more fucked up, then law enforcement gets involved. But they
Awesome.
know that BlackRock Rangers get first dibs. So BlackRock Rangers, you have like these guys that are stationed around the Man Fire, and a lot of their like fitter guys are actually fitter people, not just guys, are placed in these positions, and they're kind of trained to watch the crowd for runners.
Yeah, they were
People that
implemented
give
right
crazy look in
after.
their eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of
Absolutely.
like goalies, I guess. You know.
And they know every year. My understanding is every year they tackle a handful of people. That try
Yeah,
to run it.
I've heard that they stop
Wow,
their,
what a weird
their number of
thing.
people.
What a weird.
Dude,
I'm looking it up. There doesn't seem to be.
No, I know what you're talking about too. It's a phenomenon, I believe. I don't know the name, but it's like when you look into the void, right? The void calls you.
Right.
It's like people like
yeah.
step off
The same
cliffs
thing
and
of
stuff like
stepping off-
that. and,
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
they
wow.
do
And
things
there's
like
that
that
many people
where,
together, so like statistically, the odds are there's going to be a percentage
yeah,
that will do that, or be raised to a level of excitement
yeah.
that will then have that take over.
And they have no idea why that is. Like,
Okay,
these are
what's
people coming through
what's
everywhere.
acid like, Arash?
What is acid like? It's hard to
Yes.
describe.
8-9 hour trip.
Yeah. It's I like referencing this one study that I was reading. This team of scientists had like broken it down, and one of them described it as it activates the part of your brain that they call the novelty center.
Yeah.
So you experience seeing things for the first time, but you're doing it as an adult. So like the way that a child sees things with like a sense of
the
wonder and awe.
novelty. Yeah.
But it's like it's novel all of a sudden. It's new,
Mhm.
and you're like, "Wow, this is the most amazing thing ever." So you get to like see things that you've seen 10,000 times with like new eyes, and it's a
Yeah.
really exciting experience to do that. You learn things. It's said that scientists discovered the double helix shape of DNA while tripping on acid.
I've actually heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Wait, because I'm gonna, and allow me to interrupt you as you explain this because
Please.
I want to get some of these details. So,
Sure.
if it turns on the novelty center, I'm just trying to get to the bad shit. If the bad shit, in the bad shit, is it because you would be afraid because something looks different than it would normally? Is that what it is? Is that what the trigger is? Like,
It can.
I'm
You're
trying
asking
to
about
logically try to figure out what the trigger would be, what the negative
Sure.
side to it would be. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you can go into like a feedback loop in your head if you fixate on something that gets into your mind. Like you, Chris, I could totally see you getting in that. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You can have a variety of different situations that happen, but psychedelics in general, they bring up anything that if you're trying to suppress it, psychedelics are going to bring it up for you.
Right.
If you have an insecurity, if you're having bad thoughts, whatever, like you are not hiding from shit.
It's going to find it.
Yeah, psychedelics will find it, and it's going to put it right in front of you. And so that's why I say, like, the party drugs, cocaine and Molly, those are kids' drugs. Psychedelics, like, you got to know what you're doing. You're getting behind the wheel of a semi, and you have to have some idea of how to control this vehicle. So, yeah, things will come up. You'll feel giddy and excited because you're getting that novelty feeling. But if you focus on the wrong thing and you get into a not pleasant or ideal back and forth headspace, you can get stuck there and things can start to really fuck with you.
Yeah,
I'm interested in like,
but describe that. Like, you say it fucks with you. Like, does it fuck with you because what you are seeing? Like,
I can give you an example.
Now, are these lucid hallucinations?
I
just want to clarify though. Yeah. Are they lucid hallucinations? Like, can you differentiate? Can you differentiate reality from these hallucinations in a sense, or are they that sort of vivid that I mean,
have you had those vivid? Have you yourself never?
No, I'm typically not a very visual tripper.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I'm a visual artist.
Right.
But no, I don't see things. But there are people who are like very visual and all kinds of movement and stuff. But like, no, things do get glossier. Things look like they're in high definition. Yeah. Lights are brighter and stuff.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it is fun. That's why we do it.
Yeah. Yes.
But there was a event I attended that was near the airport, and we were my friend and I were planning on taking a single hit, and so he gave me the hits, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these were kind of like weak, so we're actually going to do like 2 of them." I'm like, "Cool." So we do the 2, and then he's like, "Shit, I mixed up the bags. Those were actually the extra powerful ones."
Oh wow!
There's
nothing you can do, right?
It's already too late.
Yeah, you're all right. Well, I guess we're on this ride now. A lot of intensity. It was a lot more intense, and I was in this like public event, and I wasn't planning on like being at that level of intensity. Like, if I was out.
Can you describe like maybe like using your painter side?
Sure.
Why was it intense? Like, what were you experiencing that you, a logical person, right? Somebody who understood that, hey, I'm doing a drug. I'm going to feel different. Yeah. What was still overwhelming to that? You know what I mean? That's the part I want to know. Like, what is it that, oh shit, that was scary. Like, what could trip you out? I can't think of something that could trip you out.
Well, take like the social anxiety you might be feeling in a public situation, right? Turn up the volume on that.
Yeah. But again, you're a very social person. You're great in front of people. Like, you're a host. You've been on stage. Yeah. Like,
people watching me wouldn't have been able to guess that I was having a difficult time. It was all happening inside.
Right.
In fact, for me, then like it's very common. People will be like we'll have a conversation for like an hour, and then at some point they're like blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm on acid. They're like, you're on acid? Like, I've had that response quite a bit. So,
wow.
Interesting.
In this particular situation,
so you can maintain and stuff, and not really.
He can.
Yeah.
He's not saying everybody can. He's
saying right.
Yeah. Meditation helps quite a bit. To have like a strong center.
Yeah.
And this, I remember we're at this event, and like at some point, like one of the airplanes flies over us, and my friend is looking up, and like it legitimately looked like a spaceship. It looked like all kinds of light. Like, this was a hallucination for sure. The lights and everything, it looked like a flying saucer.
That would get me. Yep.
So, but that's the thing. You were able to differentiate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just kind of trying.
That was because he's practiced his brain to go.
I see a flying saucer.
There's no way I could be actually seeing that thing.
I mean, that's one of my big reservations with acid.
Just move on, right?
Chris is right. Because I went back in my my brain was like, okay, is it possible that was a spaceship? Or
Yeah.
at the airport, right? So then at some point I'm like sitting down, and a friend of mine comes, and he like sits next to me, and we're chatting, and I'm just like, I keep feeling like the janitor is like watching me, so like the weed paranoia thing is happening.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like telling my buddy, I'm like, man, I'm having kind of a hard time, and he like looks at me and he's just like, let go, bro. Like, and I'm sitting here like, now I'm like, whoa, this is extra creepy. Like, are you really my friend, or are you some alien entity wearing skin trying to convince me to let go? What am I let go of? Like, so it started to freak out about like, it was a weird situation. It was like, I could not wait for this trip to be over. Like I somehow got it together to like control my phone enough to call an Uber for my friend and I. So, cause like the whole time I'm texting with a friend of mine, and she's at her place and she's got some friends over, and I'm telling her that I'm having a difficult time. She's like, just get over here, my friend. I'll take care of you. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, this Uber comes to get us, and the car that gets us, like, I feel like I've never seen this car before. I don't know what model and make it is.
Oh no!
And then like the guy's trying to get the seat to pop open, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that now. And like, so
wow,
comes out and pops open, and we're drive back to like my friend's place. And for a while, I'm sitting there at my friend's place, and there's these 3 pretty girls there at her place, and they're just like talking to me, and they're being like super nice and bubbly. But I feel like I'm in like I'm inside of a music video or something, and these people aren't real.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is like how it's feeling.
So your brain is, at this point, your brain is off and running, right? There's no... Yeah. You're obviously your logical mind is having a hard time reeling it back in, right? Yeah. Because like how many times can you sit there and tell yourself, this isn't real, this isn't real? At some point, you just let it roll.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, that's what it feels better. When you're fighting it is when it messes with you.
Yeah.
But if you just roll with it, like you're like, all right, well, I'm in a music video.
Now, is it more of a social like drug, or is it more of a solitary kind of drug where it's better to do it alone?
Depends on the person. I know people who love dropping it and like doing their day, like running errands and like cleaning their house and stuff and everything.
Oh wow,
fun and interesting. Yeah.
Well, you know me. What about me? If I would do it at home? Do you think I would survive?
Yeah. You would stop what you're doing a lot because you'd be like, wow, a box, so you would things like that. That's a normal thing that'll happen. When I was at my friend's place, though, that I was telling you, like, she was like, I have a Xanax. Do you want it? Like, that's like the done pill.
Yes, I've heard that.
You just take a Xanax and knock out.
Bro, honestly, I have stayed away from them. I've been very, very tempted. Very, very tempted. But I just feel like I'll like them too much. Like, I feel like if I take...
Xanax.
No, Xanax. Like,
okay.
I feel like if I... Like, because of my anxiety, I feel like I'll just be like, I'll just fix that. And, next thing you know, I'm taking 30 of them. Dude, me and Arash, when we were doing a radio show called Proof of Life, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say who was on, but I remember these guys came on one time, and they were called Xanny bars, right? Like they would have like a big Xan, and these guys were popping like 3 or 4 or 5.
Oh, I remember that, man. Yeah.
You wouldn't know Dion that much?
I actually know a few people who've told me, like, I just took 5 Xanax, and they're like, but they hit the stage and they're fine, like they're just fine.
I trip on that.
I don't think I've ever taken one.
Like Arash is, I think his tolerance has gone much higher since he's gone down this journey, right? At least, like, because, dude, can you explain to me one time you told me you took, it's like a number thing. It's named a number.
Yeah, there's a few numbers.
Okay, give me one of the numbers, and what the fuck is that? Because that's a whole nother level to me. Like, what the fuck?
I think like 2CE maybe might have been, like 2CI. There's a scientist named Sasha Shulgin who they call the father of MDMA. The father of ecstasy. And what Sasha and his wife did is they took LSD and kept doing like one little change on these bars that you're looking at, like switching one little part of the formula to see what happens, and then they would take it
together.
And then
like
so they were doing like they would they were doing psychedelics like 5 nights a week or something. Like, and then there's like 100 something variations of LSD that they discovered through this process. I saw your slogan. So, it might have been too. It might have been too.
I'm not doing this one.
Yeah.
I mean, this one.
And then on top of that,
this one checks all the boxes for me, bro. Muscle tension, uncomfortable body load, possible teeth grinding, possible anxiety.
Oh wow! Oh, with the LSD.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's got to be a fun one for me.
Can you smoke weed with it?
Actually, I don't think you want to smoke weed.
Yeah. You can smoke weed. Yeah, it's There's actually a chart that you can look up from MAPS, which is the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, and they show you the cross tolerance of like all the different substances and if they're like toxic or they're actually favorable. Weed is a favorable mixture with pretty much everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can mix weed with pretty much everything. A lot of people will like do acid, and then like when they go after the peak, they'll smoke weed to like bring it back up a little bit. Same thing with mushrooms. You'll get like an extended like higher part of the mushroom experience. So when I was in Africa Burn, South Africa, we did acid, and like halfway through the trip, I was just really, really exhausted. I was tired. I really just wanted to go to sleep and start the day fresh.
Yeah.
So at our camp, Africa Burn is the most weed I've ever smoked in my life, because they just had like a box of joints sitting there, like a cigar box, and you just could pick up and light up and smoke. Like they had so much. So
what made you smoke them? Because you're not a smoker, really, right? You don't. You occasionally indulge, but you're not like someone who's like smoking daily.
Yeah. So I was like, but this is one of my tricks. Is I'll just like smoke a bunch of weed and knock the fuck out, right? That did not happen. I smoked the weed, and instead of getting sleepy, I got extra high on LSD. So now, I was like way through the roof on another. Whoa, so I go to my tent, and I'm like I'm laying on top of my sheets, like on top of my bedding, wearing all my clothes. And every time I wanted to like flip one of the sheets over and get under it because it was cold, it would freak me the fuck out, because I felt like I was flipping over the fabric of the universe and I could see space underneath there. So I just like put it back real quick. I'm like, I don't want to look at this.
Shit.
Wow.
So that gave me the chills right now.
That's scary.
Dude, it was rough. And so like the entire night I'm just like shivering on top of my shit because I can't find the energy to like go underneath the sheets.
You're in another country's energy too, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
so, like,
that's crazy.
There's camps nearby. They're like playing music that I'm not familiar with, so it's all like extra weird.
Whoa!
This was like all night till sunrise, right? And I think around sunrise, I finally like dozed off for a little bit. After I wake up, I was actually talking to a friend describing the evening. He's like, "Oh yeah, those are really good though. Those are like the real, like deep cleaning experiences."
Like, yeah, you kind of need them.
Yeah, so he was right. I felt like $1 million.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Like I felt just amazing. I felt like it's challenging experience going through it, but it felt like it just got in there and scraped like the bottom of the whatever was stuck down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this was like at the end of the week. So I after like the crazy week that we had, that day I woke up as if I just been like resting and feeling really great all week and not in the desert doing all the shit that I was doing in Africa Burn. And I felt so good that when we got back to Cape Town, I went for a run. Like dude, my host I was staying with, her like, we don't know how the fuck you're doing this right now, but
like, because usually post camp you're just like you sleep for 3 days, like you're just exhausted.
So what do you think it was? Do you think it was like just a serotonin rush, or
it's interesting.
Like what do you think was happening?
I think psychedelics are for sure medicine. I think we're nowhere near understanding how to properly utilize them, because a lot of the studies that began, like the long-term studies that we started in the 60s, they very quickly got demonized by the government, so they all got shut down. So we don't have like, now we're getting back into doing these long-term studies, and now there's more and more stuff coming up about how psychedelics have so many healing properties. They have an anti-inflammatory
that's
properties.
A big one, huh?
Like, they're doing a lot of research now, and now now like the roads have been opened up and culture has accepted it and people have stopped responding to that conservative Reagan era shit. So we're discovering now, but they're for sure medicine. Like it gets in there and it can do a cleaning if we do it properly and know what we're doing.
What is the drug you like the least that you have indulged in? One if they said you are never going to have this one again, you'd be like, yeah, I don't care.
Cocaine.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Is that the same with you, Eddie?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Cocaine, man.
For two completely different reasons, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's a boring drug.
Yeah. What about the one if you had to keep it? If it's the only one you can have on an island, you have an unlimited mescaline. Wow. Why mescaline?
It's smoking.
That scares the shit out of me.
What is that, man?
Mescaline, it's one of the 2C like spin-off things that I was mentioning earlier that they'd studied, but like the active ingredients in it are things that they find in like cactus, like the mescaline cactus.
Like peyote.
But the mescaline that I've experienced has been it's a synthetic, meaning that it's not actually derived from the cactus, but it's the active ingredients that you have in cactus, and it's made in a lab.
Like they recreated the chemical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right. And it's like a 10-hour-ish thing.
10 hours.
Ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
it very gently comes up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait. Let me ask you this really quick. So couldn't you just take half the amount and do like 5 hours?
No.
Yeah, what's the dosage actually?
It sounds like cheating.
No. With psychedelics, generally what happens is that the half-life is the same no matter what dose you do. The amount you do changes what the experience is.
That makes sense.
So what was your particular dosage for this description?
I don't remember. 1 pill.
Oh, 1 pill. Okay.
Like, yeah, supposedly 2 is a full dose and it gets like way more heady, but like I don't like it that heady. I enjoy that it's like it's a really like what is like the equivalent of like a 5-hit acid trip.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's aggressive.
Yeah, all kinds of things moving and stuff. The person you were mentioning earlier, Chris, who we said we will not name on this show, he did have an experience like that in Vegas, and we just kept looking at him and going,
on mescaline?
Yeah, or like he was all the paintings were moving, like everything was moving in
Fairmont Street.
Yeah, he was tripping balls. And
Wait, something occurred to me right now, Raj. Wait, like if I'm on mescaline and I'm tripping because things are moving or whatever's causing me to trip, could I go ahead and assume that the feeling of the trip, the things that are making me trip out, the things that are triggering me, would probably just be the same for every drug if I was tripping out on any drug, right? It's the same. Like you don't like if I get like severe anxiety because I'm on mushrooms and my mind starts rolling. If I did a bunch of cocaine and that happened, it would be the same like topics almost. You know what I mean? Like the same things would pop up, right?
I see what you're saying.
Like, have you had a bad trip? Like something you've had a bad trip on? How many different drugs have you had a bad trip on? Or not? I mean, none of them are bad, but you know what I mean. Like, like
challenging, unpleasant,
more challenging.
Yeah.
Have they been similar? Like the things you dealt with, have they been similar?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, because if that is the case, then I feel less afraid to try other psychedelics, because then I'm like, okay, if I'm just battling the same demons, I'm getting better at that. So I don't,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
The psychedelics activate different parts of your consciousness.
Right.
So,
I guess that's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. There's actually there's actually a scientist. I was listening to this podcast where they were breaking down. Like, there's actually a scientist who has been. I don't know where he's at with it now. He was mapping out consciousness.
Yeah.
And where different activities lie, and which psychedelics activate which parts of consciousness. So yeah, look up mapping out consciousness and see if that comes up. But but yeah, like mushrooms, for example, feel like you're connecting to like a spiritual, earthy energy.
Yes.
LSD feels like it activates the brain, like as a giant supercomputer. Cocaine is like a body thing. It makes you feel extra cocky and extra confident.
Yeah.
So, I think different things activate different.
You think
things
mushrooms and weed are they're kind of like cousins? I think.
I think they're cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the only like negative I've had on mushrooms was not that bad. Actually, it was just more like, oh shit, that was kind of scary. But it was based off of visual stuff. But what was happening to me physically, like the stuff that would like make me tense up, that felt exactly the same as if I've had like a weed one. Mm-hmm. It's just that but what I saw was different.
Yeah.
But the feeling was the same.
Yeah. Because it would have happened regardless.
So I'm wondering if that
just amplified differently.
Yeah, because the part I don't have a problem with is if I get visuals. Like, I don't have none of that has ever freaked me out. And I've had some pretty crazy visuals.
Yeah.
That's not what freaks me out. It's always just like how my body reacts or how I tense up, and then that triggers the anxiety. But if that's the case, if they are rather similar, like the actual physical feeling, or like the negative reaction,
they can be.
Yeah, then maybe
isn't that why
there's hope for me.
The set and setting is really important? Because that way it puts you in
that's for sure.
A good
when
mindset.
I did DMT, I confirmed that for myself, like set.
Yeah, they can be. I remember the first like very challenging mushroom trip that I had. Felt like I'd smoked way too much weed, and I was like laying on the ground. But then I would close my eyes and get all these like trippy ass visuals, and that was different than weed. Weed wasn't giving me like looking into, I don't know, colored soundscapes and shit like that. So,
yeah, and the thing that I liked about DMT was there was nothing I could do about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
DMT is
and there's a freedom to that feeling. Like, I didn't feel my body at all, so it wasn't like I could relate to
almost like submitting yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have a choice. Yeah. Oh, hey, Arash. So, Mike Mackey over here had a chance to do DMT with Tumex.
And declined.
On the first day that he ever met Tumex.
Yeah.
Right? At being a lifelong fan of Tumex, and he turned it down.
Yeah, bitched out.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, I had to watch my kids the next morning. So
the next morning, dude.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about
it.
But it's still, it's only
10 minutes tops.
See, that was my misconception. That was my misconception, because I was under the impression that I thought it was a long trip, like acid.
It was described to him. It was described to him.
They did describe it, but
you're lying.
No, they described it, but I definitely was like,
you're embarrassing me in front of my old co-host.
I thought I would have residual effects.
Yeah, but please tell him that
it is scary.
There's nothing he can do to extend it. He's not going to be the one guy who does DMT and it lasts 3 hours.
Yeah,
that's good to know. That's good to know.
You would have had the most magical day with your kids the next day, I think.
Yeah, I've been looking for. He said it called you, into the void, and
it called you. And I want you to go back now. And I was like, well, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I was like, do you understand the rock star story you would have had?
Yeah.
Like the rock star, you meet Tumex for the first time.
Yeah, I met my idol on the first time I met him. DMT together?
We did DMT together. You'd be DMT brothers right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
my wife gave me a.
How many times have you done DMT?
Satisfying pat on the head. She's like, "Good morning."
Yeah.
Oh gosh, 10ish.
Oh wow.
So he's done it about 10 times.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm okay.
He can confirm for you. No, I haven't seen it last more than I say 12 minutes.
Oh wow.
Tops.
Yeah.
And that's actually like coming out of it too and feeling like
the whole process.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. If you count, actually, I guess 10ish times is when I've actually smoked and gone for it. But like, if I add to that, also there was a snuff that a friend of mine made.
Like a movie?
No, like a snuff.
Just casually.
Like DMT.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
the amount that you would need to take in order to like fully have like a trip, like you can't do that in your nose; it would hurt. But
interesting,
it's an
really.
interesting thing. I would do like a.
How do you
like,
ingest
snort
it?
Just through your nose.
Yeah.
That's
Just
how you
smoke
snort things.
Those are your nose.
That whole butt thing you're doing, I told you,
It's
not
a
snorting.
no-no.
How do you
It's
put
not
it?
snorting, dude.
Yeah,
I told you
man.
a bunch of
I almost
times.
did the butt thing the other weekend.
Oh, no.
Powdered cocaine,
Oh,
Yeah.
powdered alcohol.
Yeah, I would do like a bump of this DMT snuff like on
Uh-huh.
Sunday after like 3 days of partying, and it felt like I'd reset my system and I just meditated for 4 hours.
What?
Oh, wow.
That sounds awesome.
It was amazing.
Wow. And but that's made to
That
be
smile.
in that form, right? It's not like normal You can't just get normal DMT and stick it up your
No.
nose.
I don't know anybody else who's even known about this. This is the only
Oh,
person I've ever
wow,
met who
man.
Interesting.
about it.
Let's get him on the show. What do we have you
Yeah.
on for?
I'm-
All right,
I'm-
hey, dude. Can you want to stick with us? We're gonna wrap up, but we're gonna do what's trending right now, where we go through Twitter and see what's trending, or if there's anything we want to talk about. Sometimes there's nothing, by the way. This could literally last like 10 seconds. So just so you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see here. I want to see if there's anything under the normal trending first. Raiders, blah. AMAs, blah. Farewell Taker. Taker's leaving again. Nah, you guys don't want to talk about that.
How many times has he
There's
retired?
a lot of football on Sundays.
The
man.
Undertaker?
Fuck that.
Oh, is
Look at
that
the news?
is that football today?
Russia's Road of Bones.
Yeah.
What is that? I kind of want to know what that is. Highway in Siberia once delivered tens of thousands of prisoners. Well, that's a downer. We're not going to.
Yeah.
What's the freeway that goes into Vegas?
The freeway
The freeway that goes to
Yeah,
15?
15?
is it 15? Yeah, because
Yeah.
like
Does it
I
have
can't
bones?
name, but I had like Roadhead going up to Vegas one time. That's the Road of Bones.
Wow, that is true. Don't mind him, Arashi. He's trying to work on a strong 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's not coming along good. I'm just going to be honest.
I mean, Road of
It's
Bones.
bad.
I mean, I've heard there's a lot of
He's got a
sex
strong 20
between
seconds
Vegas
so far
and
for the whole year. Hey, look at these faces. Do any of these faces look real to you?
No.
Because they're not.
Not real?
They are absolutely generated by an AI, 100%. And these are
That's
the
a trip.
these are the things
Scary,
that
dog.
these Russian operatives are using to populate Facebook and
Yeah.
push stuff. So
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
that's
So
a real thing.
They got I think what's the website? It's called make the face or change the face.org or something. But it basically will just generate you
Oh, there it is right
a
there.
user AI picture off of all the pictures on the internet. And
By
then
the way-
essentially-
Wow, these are really good though.
Yeah,
Very
list
Yeah.
of shit you should not look at on acid because this will just fuck you up.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. See, we're always
No,
teaching
it's
you.
very interesting because, like, you could use it for passports. You could use it for identification purposes. Social
think-
media, like a lot of these accounts,
Oh.
right? They're fake accounts that have user generated, images.
Do you think there is anything at this point that the government could do to control, to stop social media from getting completely out of control? Well, it's already out of control, but is there any way to draw this back in, right? Because now we're at a point where, the argument is that Facebook is like the electric company, or like the water company. It's a necessity. It's a thing that
Utility.
it's a utility.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that part scares me as an artist, though, right? Like when they start talking like that, because I feel like, all right, well, here comes the censorship right around the corner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe our idea of what free speech needs to change. I don't know. Maybe what we thought the world would stay a certain way, and now it isn't. And free speech is a thing that can hurt people in a real way now. Suicide rates have skyrocketed. Elections are getting fucked with. Like, how do you think we would bring this? Do you think there's hope? Is this out of control? Is it?
I think there's hope if they revoke Article 230.
What's that?
They established it, I believe, in the Clinton administration,
Uh-huh.
but it allows platforms. There's a big day. That's why they're having the antitrust trial right now in Congress. Because essentially, Article 230 gives them the right as a publisher or a platform. So because their platforms are subject to laws, right? Because we have freedom of speech and certain other kind of laws. So they essentially get tax incentives, and they get grants, and they get all these kind of they get all these benefits from.
They're getting benefits as if they're being treated like media.
Yeah, and essentially they're not
media.
Yeah,
it's technically just a graffiti wall.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the argument right now, is if they revoke Article 230, that's essentially going to set the internet back to before it was starting to get conglomerized, where it'll be message boards, and if you needed to go to whatever website, you could just go there, and it wasn't essentially a monopoly on.
So did you guys
Facebook,
watch
Twitter, Instagram,
The Social Dilemma?
I'm aware of it. I haven't been able to.
Did you watch the whole thing, Raj?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it seems like it's all just a farce, right? Like it's just something. Like every bit of social media seems to be designed to sell us off, right? Because as they said in that movie, the misconception of social media is that we're looking at products and we're being sold things, but the reality is that we are the products and we're being sold to the advertisers, right? That's how it actually works, and the entire mechanism is designed around that thing, not about making your life easier.
Yeah.
In fact, if anything, it complicates your life because it's putting more things in front of you so that you can see it. I mean, Arash, you feel like you're addicted? Are you addicted to your phone?
No.
How do you stop from being?
I have practices in place. Leading up to lockdown, I actually was knew I kind of wanted to leave Facebook, and I mostly have. It's still up because I throw shit out there from time to time, but not really on there anymore. I put my phone on airplane mode when I go to bed, and when I wake up, so when I wake up, I don't even look at it or touch it until after I've meditated and had my morning routines and rituals. I've journaled, I've done a whole thing before I'll even take it off airplane mode to see what's going on.
And that probably trains your brain out of wanting that immediate dopamine rush right in the morning. Yeah.
We actually, the last time that you and I hung out, I did this. It's one of the practices I've gotten into is I'll put my phone in airplane mode when I'm sitting down with somebody to have a conversation.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you noticed, I kept wanting to take notes from some of the stuff you were saying. So I feel finally I gave up and I took it off. But when I'm talking to somebody, I'll put it on airplane mode. The way I came up with this idea was that they did a study with a couple of different groups of people where they had group number one have the phones in their pockets, go in and have a conversation with another person in the room, but they were told that they can't look at their phone. Group number two had left their phones outside the room and then went in to have the conversations. And they tracked their brain activity and saw there was a very noticeable difference in how people's brains, how engaged they were, how deeply understanding they were of what was going on. Coming from the other person, all that kind of stuff. So
wow,
that was where I got the idea. So when I sit down with somebody, I'll put it on airplane mode.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the movie, it's fascinating. I actually, the writer, director, producer was on Rogan, and that's how I decided. I kind of had it on my to watch list, but it wasn't calling to me. I kind of knew after watching the trailer, I got the gist. It's bad for us. We're fucking up really bad. But you watch it, it is very sobering on how much we've completely lost control of the internet.
Yeah.
To people that just want your data and farm you away. And this was, literally the guys who made these things are in this movie. The people who founded these companies and worked on the first algorithms.
We're definitely beholden to the algorithm now, and that's kind of one of the things why I see the proponents of revoking Article 230 is because if we can take that away from especially these huge conglomerates like Facebook has to be broken up, Twitter has to be broken up, Instagram, it's going to send social media into a spin, right? Maybe TikTok, because I believe they're Chinese based, right? But for the most part, everything else that's popular is American, culture and influence. And, I think it'll fundamentally change everything in this country. As you can see, like, there's health benefits that, are attributed to, phone addiction.
Yeah.
Even just addiction in general.
They say
people,
it's costing the United States like tremendous amount of money.
Oh yeah, I mean
overall,
advertisers. I think the statistic is everybody's ad data that's being sold currently right now is worth upwards almost $1,000, $800 some dollars a year, and I mean that's data just how old you are, where you went to school, what your habits are, what websites you click on a month, what your web traffic looks like.
I think I'm definitely at a place where I feel like, I'm not, for us to get even in the United States, just for us to all become conscious of how bad social media is hurting us. I don't know if I can describe what I would think would cause that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what kind of event would have to happen for people to go, hey, wait a minute, we should at least tell the social media companies, like, hey, stop doing all these traps you have.
You think of the bullying, especially the suicide rates and stuff, and you think that would raise a red flag, but it hasn't.
No, well, that actually,
it's almost at the opposite. More people are more mean now, and it's almost become fashionable to become a troll.
Yeah,
I feel like comments and
we're
stuff.
always going to hit a tipping point on everything. I feel it, but I just couldn't. If I was asked to predict it, what do you think would happen to turn this social media trend around? I have no idea. I have no idea what it would take.
I don't either. Yeah. I think I'm almost surprised that we haven't gotten to the place where we're seeing public service announcements left and right about like social media.
Yeah,
the way that you see for smoking.
We talked about that on this show, right? We were talking about that, how
PSAs and stuff.
Yeah, what happened to the more you know thing? Don't cough on people. The more you know, just very. I feel like we need simple shit again. I want one of those that just says be nice to people. Don't punch people in the face. It's not nice.
Wait, what? You can't do that?
No, you can't do that. What do you guys? Did you guys see this? Donnie Trump Jr.
Yes,
Jr. Got COVID, man. I wish him the best.
Apple doesn't fall far from the infected tree.
The infection does not fall far from the tree. But I mean, look what they did. Look what they did for his dad. They turned him around in
time.
48 hours.
Yeah, a weekend.
He was in and out.
Golfing on the Monday.
He was doing lines the next day.
There's no consistency in how it seems to treat people.
No, yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
We're talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's very weird. Voting by mail is legal and safe. Experts and data confirm. It seems like a whole lot of nothing going on right now. It seems
Thank God.
Thank God, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the apathy afterwards.
Nice. I believe, Arash, you actually made me see the light yesterday when we were talking about this. I'm with your plan on what Trump is doing. Yeah, Arash says, he's just building his brand. It's on brand for him to fight this. He's staying on brand, so that when he's done with this, he can cash in on this brand. Mm-hmm. And I agree because it is fizzling. He's got to know this is fizzling out now. It's kind of people are kind of over it. But I think he's going to make a killing for sure. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see him starting a network because look at how many people follow him. That would be enough. He could start a private network or a cable add-on and just kill it.
Well, word was that's what he was trying to do to begin with. That's the whole reason he ran.
Right, and then he got trapped. He got trapped.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me check this out. Okay, nothing there. And then entertainment. Kanye West. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. My favorite record of his, by the way. Yours, Arash?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
That thing's amazing.
10 years old, man. That sucks, right? 10 years old, man.
I love the behind the scenes like breakdown of like how that album was made. You know, all of everyone, a who's who.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Out on like camp together in Hawaii, and like they'd wake up and have breakfast together, and then like play some basketball, and then like go do some community service. It was like around sunset before they even got in the studio.
Wow.
And then like imagine like every time like somebody would get in the studio and they're like, "What do you think, Jizza?" You know, like everybody like would give their opinion about like. What a phenomenal!
I'm waiting for like a real like 2-hour documentary to come out on that. Right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see this thing? Sia is getting a ton of backlash. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer. She dropped a trailer where Maddie Ziegler, who is her longtime collaborator in videos, she basically is the little girl who dances in all of Sia's videos. Who's now, I think she's almost 20, but she plays an autistic character in the movie, and Sia, the backlash immediately. Here's my thing. I almost feel like her doing this, I don't care what the excuse was at this point. You know what I mean? It seems just poor taste, right? We know there's autistic actors. We know there is. Mm-hmm. There's great autistic actors. And she didn't cast that. She's getting backlash on it. I feel you can feel however you want about it. I do feel like if you're in the entertainment business and you do something like this and you don't see something like this coming, you're kind of out of touch.
See you later.
Of course this was going to happen. See you later. But yeah, they're calling for her complete cancel.
She getting canceled?
Oh, in fact, here is this is the trailer. So that's Maddie Ziegler.
So she's autistic.
Yep. She's not autistic. She's playing autistic character. And
and that's why they're mad at her. And they're mad at her.
Okay.
What's that got to do with Sia though?
It's a movie. She made this movie. It's her directorial. And so you see the premise is like the autistic person sees the world in a much better light.
So she generalizes autism and
right. And it's being translated.
It's kind of gimmicky.
It is, right? It's kind of hacky. Yeah. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
That's what I felt, dude. That's why I always feel like when I look at these things, and when obviously I don't agree with cancel culture at all. I think way more conversation should happen, right? We should have conversation culture where we kind of hash these things out a little bit better. But when I see things like this, I think these are the things that kind of get people the most upset when it just doesn't feel like it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if
it's
it
not
was
substance,
good,
it's just devoid of substance.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. And it's very, there's nothing, like this, just even the idea of it isn't, like, new.
Yeah, like the glossy veneer of, like, hey, it's trying to be progressive, like, trying to highlight, autism, mental awareness.
The concept of seeing something through somebody's eyes who has less
it's
than...
generalized.
It's so generalized. I
can see how that could be offensive.
Right. Yeah. And then the other thing was, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Did you guys ever see something about Mary?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember the brother?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yes.
Franks and Beans.
Yeah.
Look at her she's channeling. You can see it. Like, I think she studied that fucking movie.
Oh.
Watch. Look.
So it's a very stereotypical kind of like...
Yeah, like as if all autistic people act one way.
Yeah.
Why would you be acting just like another autistic character in a movie?
Yeah.
Right? Why not act different?
Yeah, some nuance to it.
Right, exactly. And that was super, like when I saw that.
It's too right on the nose.
Watch, even this scene right here. The fingers.
Cringy.
Did you see the fingers? Like the finger thing, it's all these stereotype.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
She's a good,
I like Sia.
She's, I give her because she's a dancer, and I remember watching that. It was like Dance Moms or something. But
is she out forever now?
She essentially was, would you watch her rise in popularity?
Let's be honest.
She definitely earned it.
It's not Maddie Ziegler's fault.
Yeah.
Like, she got cast in this movie. She's longtime collaborator Sia. I don't think an option to not do it was for Maddie Ziegler.
Yeah.
Sia though should have been like,
I agree.
yeah, I could probably do something a little more inventive.
Yeah.
You know?
And to see how right on the nose it is, that it just shows how out of touch that person is.
That's the part, yeah.
They obviously have never been around somebody who obviously had autism because they weren't so stereotypically like that.
Tough times.
In her defense, just so we know, Sia did respond. And Sia
She said,
her thing was that
I'm gonna get you.
The character is based completely on a neurotypical, atypical friend.
Okay.
He found it too stressful being nonverbal, and I made this movie with nothing but love for him and his mother, right?
Okay.
Still not that good of an excuse, right? That's not a good excuse. Just because you know somebody that's like, I know this black guy, and I'm making a movie where I play in blackface. Like, no, it doesn't.
So she copies her friend.
No, that doesn't work. It doesn't slide for me. And then the other one was, where was it? Right here. I had two people on the spectrum advising me at all times.
Oh, they did. They don't like her.
They didn't advise you to hire somebody who's also on the spectrum.
Can you imagine being a professional nag?
Yeah.
Like,
here's the thing, by the way. Here's the thing. Here is a dose of equality for you. Those two people that were advising you, they're fucking idiots because they should have told you that was a bad fucking idea. That's what they should have told you.
Can you imagine what got cut on the editing
That
floor?
was probably like a budget thing right there, for sure.
What ideas they tossed out?
No. She said the whole thing was that putting someone who is autistic in that situation at all was insensitive. As if all autistic people are on the spectrum in the same way.
Are you saying
that doesn't make sense?
She's not advocating. That's her advocation for not putting somebody in the role
because they couldn't take it.
Oh, okay.
So she's talking shit.
She literally said they couldn't take it.
Oh, okay.
But don't worry, I had two autistic people advising me to make those movies. I think those two autistic people are fucking assholes.
She does make a good point though.
What if they were hater people?
They are haters,
what if they were just hating?
What if they did try to reach out to a couple people in the especially in the entertainment
industry. She's Sia, bro. She could reach out to 1,000.
Yeah, she
did it right.
But maybe they just had some failed auditions. These people couldn't handle it and stuff. So they went in that creative direction.
Yeah.
No.
It's a safe choice.
Maybe some autism, Yeah.
I mean, because look at that show, for example, Modern Family or not Modern Family, the other one, Parenthood.
Modern Family.
Parenthood. They had
It's not really Mexican.
No, the kid had Asperger's, right? He had he had Asperger's. So but that was supposed to be like a real accurate portrayal of.
And you're saying he didn't actually have Asperger's?
I believe so. I think he does have it.
He does. Okay, so.
But I was saying he's an actor who can handle that kind of stress.
No, I know
saying,
for a fact there are autistic actors.
Yeah,
I know that for
Asperger, man.
They could have been.
What is
All right,
that?
thanks, Arach, for being on the show, man.
Asperger's.
I'm sorry to argue in front of you.
What is that, man?
What's Asperger's?
Yeah.
I know this is a topic for another show.
Oh, okay. All right.
But Arash, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Come back again.
Man. Thank you.
Follow you, Mr. Arash, at everything. Go there, check him out. He's on a journey, man. Check out. And by the way, one of the best photographers I know in the game.
Yeah. Hire him.
Hire him. Don't.
Thank you, sir.
Like real shit.
Hire him.
Yes, hire him. Don't fire him.
Absolutely.
All right,
MrRock.com, burnerpodcast.com.
There it is. All right, dude. We'll see you. Come back again.
Yeah, it was nice meeting this guy, man. He's cool, dude.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Right,
Later, man.
Yeah, that's Mr. Ross, bro.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
One of the good ones,
Great
my friend.
insight.
One of the good ones.
Very, very, had a lot of really good insight on
everything, right?
Yeah. Kind of just want to see it for an hour, pick his brain about.
That's why I wanted to have him on the show, just because not only just because of his expertise. He has a lot of expertise and a lot of he's a Renaissance guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He knows. I mean, by the way, he was a host on Crappy Awesome for 6 years.
Yeah.
In the hip hop world, molding a scene.
That's interesting.
And now he's at he's kind of taking his skills over to Burning Man. He started a pod,
Burnercast. Yeah,
he's kind of one of those Renaissance dudes. But yeah, he adds a lot of it. So did he change your mind on DMT? Or
I'm open to it now, man.
You're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Preferably with 2Max. Maybe we could do it. We'll film it.
Yeah, I feel like 2Max will give you another shot. If you guys are watching the show, ask 2Max to give you another shot. Make sure you go over to 2Max TV, by the way, on YouTube, presented by PlatformCollection.com. Amazing year. He's doing awesome.
Yeah, he's great, man.
It's been prosperous year, man. He's doing so good.
Yeah. And then at Platform Collection on Instagram, you can watch Mr. Mackey's show right here, Mac in My Day. A tutorial and a deep dive into the mind of a producer. Go there, follow him, watch that. Gene Flo, our good friend Gene Flo, has an amazing show over there.
Yes, he does.
Talking Chop. Yeah.
Which is now a live stream, which is super dope. And he's about to have a new show called The Beat Block.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for that. It's going to be like a radio show, but he's just catering to producers.
Yeah.
A producer-centric radio show. That's going to be fucking awesome. He's going to have guests on.
Talk shop and stuff.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go through there. You're going to go through there, right? You're definitely going to go on.
Yeah.
Mike?
Oh, yeah. I'm open to be a guest, yeah.
I was like, wait, did he freeze? But he's right here. He's right here.
He's sitting right there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. We have a blast with you guys. Please keep supporting the show. Tell a friend. And then what do we got coming up? Thanksgiving. We're going to do a special Thanksgiving show, which is going to be super dope. Eddie, you're going to line up a bunch of guests for the Thanksgiving show.
Sure, yeah.
We'd also what else we'd like to do? Let's kill a turkey. We'll kill a turkey.
Yeah, I think we're gonna film from Plymouth Rock.
Yes, Plymouth Rock. Maybe you can go to Plymouth Rock.
Oh yeah.
And
that would be
I haven't wanted to send you out into the world.
Out the world, man.
Because it's cold, man.
It's cold. It's wintertime. It's supposed to be a dark winter.
And I missed you too.
It's a pandemic going on. You know.
I've been in the studio alone for so long. Well, Eddie's here, but that's kind of like being
alone. Was right here, man.
Yeah, But Eddie, you're gonna line up some guests. I know you don't want to tell us yet, right?
Yes, I refuse to tell you.
Big guests, though. I mean,
I want the A level.
I mean, we got some big guests coming up.
I want some big guests.
From A to Z.
No. Nothing under a B. I'll give you a B, occasional B. I'd advise you not to tell them they are a B if they're a B.
Yeah.
But just get us. I know we're right here.
B plus.
Okay, guys. PlatformCollection.com. Go there. Thank you for your support. That's the internet, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Later.